Excellent. Welcome everyone to our District 7120 monthly training event for onlineness, digitalness, and everything we can do to make what we're doing better, but not necessarily easier, just better, because sometimes we have to work at it. We do have a couple guests here I'd like to bring to our attention. We've got um, a Robert Friend. He's with District 7980, and he's also with Event Groove. And then we also have our personal Event Groove helper, Cynthia Culver, and she has been helping me a lot recently. So thank you
Hello.
for both of you. And
Thank you, Tom.
you're welcome. Today's topic, what I wanted to do is talk about ways that we can start accepting donations online for our club, as well as uh, dues and so forth, and using the Event Groove tool that we are trying to trying to get standardized across the board. So I'm going to start sharing a screen here and get right in on it. So we're going to look at this from the Elmira Club, Rotary Club perspective. And you can see that I'm not doing a lot of campaigns yet. I've been dabbling more for the district than for our club as far as campaigns. What I want us to focus on today is two respects. We're going to look at the branding, but also the donation pages. So we're going to start with donation pages. And this is what we've been doing for my club. And you can see that at the moment, we've got a lot of different ways that clubs can donate. And before I dig into that, I want to show you the front end of this and how we got there. So this is our website from elmirarotary.org, and it is Club Runner. And what I've got right here is in the top left system, I've got a button. And this button actually goes to our donate landing page. And so the way this is we've got some verbiage here, and you guys can get here on your own later. And then we've got, please select the type of donation to the Elmira Rotary Club. So we got happy fines, dollars, the birthday fund, general donation, and pay club dues. So this kind of stuff right here, this is for the Rotary Club and different things. And then I put a little description of what each of these go for. And the general donation is generally for people that are non-Rotarians that are trying to give us money. And so what we got to remember, what we're trying to do here is make it easy for people to get money to us. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's easy for us to set up, but once it's properly set up, it's really easy for someone to do a donation. And then we've got the ability to pay club dues, and there's no in there. And then I actually have donate to the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International, and I'm going to just clip over here for a split second, just so you can see what it does. You can see this is the myrotary.org.donate, and all of a sudden you're in. Now I'm logged in. I'm not logged in yet, but there's different ways to do, and then you can learn more, and it's now out of our hands. So I found that our club treasurer prefers people, if they want to donate to the annual fund or polio fund, it's better to just give straight to Rotary, and they do all the hard work for us instead of being a filter through the club. Seems to do really well. And the very interesting thing is you can do one-time donations or recurring donations in anything you want. And so it's super easy, and they can do it as a guest, or if you're a Rotarian, you got your membership, you can do it that way. All right, we're back out. And then if you'd like to mail a check, we have people that do mail us checks. I want to make it easy for them to do that. And so here's how this is. They can find us pretty easily. And for those that care, and I find about half do and half don't, for tax deductible purposes, I throw our tax ID straight up. So this is what we've got, and they're different links. And so you can see, if you look at the bottom, that's elmira.rotary7120 down here, gives, or I'm sorry, that's happy, that's 50/50, that's the birthday fund, that's just charity. And then dues is somewhat different. Now dues, our club treasurer actually has his own system, and he didn't want me to erase it or make it better, and that's fine. You want to keep your club treasurers happy. And so what our club treasurer does is he's got a Stripe account. And so if someone wants to play club dues, he says, I will email you an invoice with a link, and he bops an extra 4% on it to cover the fees, and people pay that way. And so if they click on this, you can see down at the bottom, it says it's a mail to automatically. It goes to our treasurer, and the subject line is already club dues. And I've even pre-filled in the body. It says, please send me an invoice to pay club dues. So again, I'm making it easier for the end user to click, to go over there. All right. So how do we make all this stuff? Oops, wrong side. We're going this way. So we'll get to this one in just a minute. So here is the Elmira Rotary Club dues. And if you click on it, this is the page that comes up. Goes, and then here it is, Elmira Charity Rotary, Happy Dollars and Fines. And they can choose the donation amount. I'd like to make this a monthly campaign. I'd like to dedicate this in memory. I'm currently logged in, and we're going to do this without that in just a minute. Credit card number, it knows that I have a Google account, so I could choose to pay for Google Pay. And by default, I'm adding the 61 cents fee, credit card fee, to the donation, but they can turn it off and donate, or 1061 and donate. So that was Happy Finds. I'm going to open up the 50/50 in an incognito window. And so this is somebody that has not logged in or has never done this before. And here it is. There's the donation again. This is the flat 50/50. Now they have to enter the information, because you remember I was logged in before and I'm not now. And so I have the ability to create a login or not. The Google is not there because I'm not logged in. And in this case, I made the 50/50. I didn't give them the option of not paying the credit card fees. If they're doing 50/50, dang it, they're paying the credit card fees. Too bad, so sad. So there's different ways of forcing the issue to them. And here is what a general donor would see. Goes to the Elmira Charity Club, and then same thing. If they're not logged in, it's right there. They can make it all this other stuff, and they can leave it over here. It just depends on how you want to treat all that. So setting it. Yes,
question. Sir. Are there any concerns? Are there any New York State laws that we should be concerned about doing 50/50s online?
No. You know what? I'm not a lawyer. So generally speaking, technically it is a raffle, but we're not using a raffle for it. It's a club member drawing. So we are not calling it a raffle. It's just a 50/50. It's really nice for people that are involved with the club and so forth. So I'm not promoting it as raffle, and it's generally within the club membership itself. Let's jump over here for a second.
Hey, Tom, this is Robert. This is Robert. I would recommend, I think you're right. I think it's internal, it's not public, so I think you're going to be fine. But to play it safe, because raffles are illegal in the state of New York.
Online, yes.
Yeah, online. I would make sure, just run it by your club attorney or your district attorney or somebody. Because it's internal, it's private. It's not a public thing, and it's not. And so it's like in my Rotary Club, we do gaming all the time. It's just not online, and so all you're doing is you're collecting the money. That's all. So,
that's correct.
But I would just play it safe, because I mean, the worst thing that can happen, you get your hand slapped, right? So
at the moment, yeah, no one's got I did a lot of research on this, and about 8 years ago, the governor signed a law to make online raffles legal, pending the rule structure from the New York Gaming Commission. And so the New York Gaming Commission says, okay, we'll put out the rules for review. And you know what? They haven't. So until it's ratified by the New York Gaming Commission, collecting funding for a raffle online is illegal in the state of New York. But there's no one that's ever been slapped for it very recently, and the pressure on the Gaming Commission is building more, but it is what it is at the moment.
Okay,
so that being said,
this is your public website though, right? Anybody can see this, correct?
Right. And it's, I guess I could put for club members only on there if we needed to. So
Well,
it should,
you can just put it behind the firewall too, so that they only see when they've actually authenticated to the site.
yeah, and you can do that with the member area too, so that they wouldn't see this without them being logged into your page, if that's what you wanted to do.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for the question. All right, so there's a lot of stuff available to us, and I've got to get myself back to where I need to be here. And so you have the ability to create what you want to do. So we got happy dollars, fines, funds, general donation over here. And then there's reports. And so creating it, we're just gonna play with the birthday fund right now. Actually, what we'll do is we'll just create a donation page straight up. So you basically, you can refer it to donors, members, constituents, supporters, or you can create your own verbiage. If you create your own verbiage, it asks you what is the singular and the plural. How do you want to refer them? Payments, pledges, transactions. So you've got all kinds of ability to create what you want to do. Training page, oops, at least page, and then what a glorious GLOU sunshine. Yeah, let's go sunshiny day. Display the title, subtitle. We are Eastern time zone, if we can find it somewhere. Which should be the number 5 somewhere. We'll just go Indiana East. Start immediately, or you can actually set this to start July 1st, if that's something you wanted to do. Adding a background image to the page is actually pretty important. And so I'm not sure what images are going to show up, so don't judge me. All right, let's find at least a different background. I'm going to search for background. Yeah, we'll just use this because it has an image. We're not going to see the center image anyway. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Select a term. What are you going to call to action on the button to say? Do you want it to be a donate, contribute, pay, give, purchase, browse, that kind of thing? Now, this is interesting. You can enable the preset donation amounts or not. If you don't, then they just have to put in an amount straight up. Or you can put in your own amount. So if you really want a $10,000 donation, you can add that in there. And if you want to create a $1 donation, you can add that in there. And I don't like the 100 or the 50, so we're going to delete that. And we're going to organize it from the lowest to the highest. What payment methods, credit card or check? This will back up into, should be connected to your Stripe account. So if you haven't got a Stripe account yet for your banks, you're going to want to set that up. That was one of the first things I did for my particular club, is got them involved in Stripe. Definitely the way to go. Check. We'll talk about Stripe fees in a minute. If you're going to let them accept checks, then here's where you go. Where should they go? Make checks payable to, and that will be at the bottom. I don't feel like filling it out today. You can require them to provide a mailing address or a phone number or not. Make it optional. And then here is a very nifty thank you letter that you can change out completely. You can enable text to give. And so we're going to put sunshiny. Check the availability. Imagine that it's available. And sunshiny. Validate your page. The link is now valid. And you should never have a problem with this because it's going to be tied to elmira.rotary7120 give. So if I had donate and you have donate, it's still 2 different pages. So the chances of it being disappeared is not going to happen anytime shortly until you've got 20 or 30 donation pages or other sub pages you are creating. Don't worry about how to use a custom domain right now. Review your price selection. We are doing percent pricing. And this is unique to the donation page. There is absolutely zero charge to use the donation page to the club. That percent pricing is Stripe. Has nothing to do with Event Groove or anybody else. Event Groove makes this available to us for free, and it's a donation. So they can't do anything about the credit card company, but they can help us. So that's what that is. And here is the things. You can automatically deduct the fees from the funds. In other words, you pay for it. The club pays for it. So if someone sends you $10, you're going to get $9.80 some cents. Or you can add the fee to each donor's donation, or you can ask the donors if they want to pay the fee. I recommend one of the bottom two, depending on how you want to play it. To me, I ask the donors if it's a true donation. And if it's something internal to the Rotary Club, our Rotarians are very generous people and they will pay the fees. That was just something we decided, and that's the way it's going to be. Come over here, we're going to click publish. Get my thing out of the way, publish. Oh, you didn't like my $1 thing, so we're not going to accept donations less than 5. Go figure. Publish. Oh, did I make a mistake? I didn't hit save. Must hit save. Third time's a charm. We have now published. Oh, now we've published. And then here's the link. So we're going to open this up in an incognito window. What a glorious day. And apparently some of my background did show, but I mean, you would have a better background. And you can see someone can give 10,000. They can make it monthly if they choose to, or they can make it weekly, quarterly, or yearly. So I'm going to give $10,000 a week because I'm a very generous soul. But if I'm already have a Stripe account, not a Stripe account, excuse me, a Events Group account. I'm not logged in right now. And look at that. The processing fee on $10,000 is $298.
By the way, just a point that just to play off of what you just said, you do not need to log in to give. So there's no deterrent. Some people don't like to log in. They like to be a guest and just do it. And so if you're on your smartphone, you just want to put in your name and your email address, and that's all you need. You're not logging in. You're not creating an account. You can just go ahead and give. And that's really one of the, I think, powerful aspects about this. It's mobile. It's easy to do.
Going to the donation page of management, you can see, I'm going to close this down here a little bit. We now have our training page available to us. And I'm not ever going to use it again, so I'm going to archive it. So the nice thing over here is it's not deleted, it's archived. And if we look at our archived pages, you can see that I was playing around and did different things. So there's a lot of different things we don't have the ability to do. So back to our regular pages. So once you've got all this set up, you've got a link. And if you forget what the link is, you click on this button right here, and there's the link. So you copy the link, and then you would make it a page over here and put it in what you wanted to do. So copying the links, you can also have friends text the word happy to this number, and a link will be texted to them. So I just created them. I'm not doing anything with the text to give yet. It's fun to exist. And you can see the different backgrounds. Once you're in there, you can actually edit the pages yourself and make tweaks if you want to. And just so you know, these pages have been tweaked about 4 times as various members in the club gave suggestions. Here's our advanced options page. So all the pages have an advanced option where you can add fund codes. This helps the treasurer when you do download reports. It starts showing there. We're not using a promo code, so that's nothing for us. You can create a fund. You can change the text that's going to show on their credit or debit card statement. This is what we have. You get 22 characters. I use them all. This allows them to make anonymous donations. I turn that on and allows them to dedicate in honor of memory of someone. I put this in so that people can put in any sort of text. So if someone says, I really want to just give this for your golf tournament, they can put that in honor of the golf tournament, generally speaking. They can check box to the receive emails from you. We're not doing that. And you can actually collect more information if you want. If you really want to collect their date of birth or something obscure, you can ask them that information. I don't have them acknowledge anything. And here's a very important. Who do you want to be notified each time a donation is made? I was a little late on this, and the first 2 donations nobody knew about, including me, even though I got the response email. But Dick Dubois, our treasurer, and me gets this. And eventually I'm going to remove myself because I don't really want to be inputted into the donations to the Rotary Club. But I'm in there now because I set it up and I want to see how it's going. You can add an FAQ to your donation page if you want. All this is very interesting stuff. When we go back, and we can have external donations. If someone wants to give, if they mailed in a check and we want to account for it, we can pop it in there. Or add a donation for record keeping. Robert or Cindy, do you want to add to that? Because I've never used the external donations feature yet.
Cynthia, you want to do it or you want me to?
Sure. The external donations is nice if you have people that are not comfortable going online, but they do want to contribute and say you want to reflect that total on your page. You could either handle the transaction by taking their card information to process on the back end, or you can have it as the check. You're receiving a check and you want that total calculated in your overall amount raised.
So you basically have the ability to track donations if you are looking for something like that and you don't have something already. Create widget. You can see the donation page is 3 different donors here. So we're going to view the donations to my Rotary Club. And lo and behold, I've been a very generous person as I've tried these things, but 3 different people have given. Okay, I'm not that generous. But so, I mean, you can see there's $2. You can view the details, transactions. You can resend the receipt if Katie Boland lost her receipt or said she didn't get it or it got junk mailed. You can resend it to her. So you have a bit of control over here. All right, so
I
that's
have a question for you.
Yep.
So on the changeover dinner page, we've gotten a bunch of donations.
Mhm.
And that's, I assume we're going to send that to the Rotary International Foundation.
Okay.
But that donations to that page, they're not tax deductible. Is that correct?
No, not to that
Not
page.
correct?
No, that is correct. It is not tax deductible. It's just a donation to the district at the moment. That is actually a different tool. We're actually on the Event Groove tool. For the dinner, the changeover dinner, I used the events registration tool to do that. And I just turned on the donate feature because why not? And apparently people just feel like being generous.
And they are.
So yes. If it was tax deductible, we would have added our tax ID number to it. And that's part of the email they get back to them. It's put into the autoresponder email.
Okay. And while I'm at it, whoever's on this call, there are still places available at the changeover dinner. So please feel free to sign up.
Yes, we have 118 other Rotarians. Join us.
Join us.
Please.
Yes, I just checked that.
Me too.
All right.
All right, so we're over here. I'm going to go to the support center. So this is a page that is what the landing page for your Rotary Club. And if someone comes to Elmira Rotary, comes to our main homepage, they're going to land at this. And so you guys should be, if you're using donation pages, you should create or at least optimize your support center page, because it's created by default and you get to pick which account you're donating to. So if we come over here, let's see, if we're looking at the donation pages, I have 5 pages donations to choose from. So if I click donate, it's actually going to be the general donation fund, and they're going to be able to donate to that. It goes to charity. Our club, by the way, is a 501c3 organization, so we have that ability. If you have fundraisers, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, they would be showing up right here. And so if you're doing different events with the Events Groove platform, they are going to be there. Let's go back over here. And so if you're going to decide to use the donation pages, and you should, then you need to make sure that your branding is properly configured. And so this is where you start creating your club name .rotary7120 gives. So it's still within the district pantheon, and that's what we got the tool, and we're creating it for you. And to get there, I will send a link. It's basically Rotary7120 gives.org/start. And it would get you started on creating your own account if you don't have an Events Groove account yet. And then you've got the ability to do your profile. We've uploaded that. This is who we are. Payment processing. This is where you turn on Stripe. And so it's, I think PayPal's going away. Is that correct? Or is PayPal available?
It is not available. It's
Okay.
just not been removed from that area quite yet.
Yeah, PayPal has been a punk. And so Stripe is the de facto. And once you create it, turning it on is pretty simple. And then they have the other integrations over here. But my campaigns, I'm going to go over here for a split second. If we had some active campaigns, then they would be showing on our fundraising page. And these are the ones that we have to choose from. And there's fees involved in these to a degree that, of course, we would end up pushing on our end users if we could. And there is a lot of samples available to us over here. So, and I'll show those to you in a minute. But the first thing I want to do is take questions. Don't everybody yell at me at once. Come on, people.
Tom, I have a question. I noticed that you have the Elmira Rotary Club of Elmira Charitable Fund Incorporated. Your dues and your 50/50s and your birthday club can't be tax deductible, can they?
Most of them are not.
So
the dues doesn't go to us. And so the reason I see where you're going, the reason I left that in here, that's one of the reasons we're not using dues within our system. I left it on there for training purposes because most clubs do not have a tax deductible component built in. So
Correct.
Their Stripe account is raw. And so they can do dues through that.
So if you had a tax deductible, donations that you wanted to receive, could your Stripe account go to 2 different locations?
No, you can only hook one into this.
Okay.
Robert, you're raising your hand?
Yeah, I am. So, you have a lot of flexibility here. So my club, Madison in Connecticut, does everything in our club system. We do dues, we do fines, we do happy dollars, all that kind of stuff. And it's going to the club account. Now we have 2 accounts. Now every club can make up, I will tell you, you don't have to, because I've done the work with our district auditor, and as long as there is an aligned mission between the club and your foundation, you can pass money back and forth no problem. But some treasurers are nervous about that. And that's their prerogative, and I totally get it. So there's nothing stopping you from going into District 7120 and creating an Elmira Rotary Club club account and an Elmira Rotary Foundation account, and they can go to 2 different bank accounts. Set up 2 different Stripe accounts, going to 2 separate bank accounts. And the one that goes to the foundation account will have a better rate than the one that goes to the club account, because you can use your 501c3 of the foundation to get a discount from 2.9% to 2.2%. So what you need to know is think outside the box, be flexible, and ask the questions. If you don't have, like you're asking, that's a great question, Bruce. Just know that there's an avenue for things. And the other thing you need to know is that, yes, you can go to Tom anytime, but the expert is sitting right here in Cynthia. And you can go on to a Rotary resource page and set up a one-on-one meeting with her anytime and her team. We want you to know that this platform, customer service is our middle name. We want to make sure that the district has full access to whatever it needs to be successful, because your success it's a win-win. So does that all make sense, Bruce? Does that help you out?
It does. And I saw she had put the link there of the eventgroove.com resources Rotary.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
that
it back.
I wrote that down. And again, if you could set up too, because part of the issue that we always have is what's tax deductible for
Right.
donors versus what is not.
Right.
And
So-
so we have to keep those separate anyway.
So to give you an example, in my club, our club account is where the club dues happen. It's where the fines happen. It's where the happy dollars happen, because those are not tax deductible. But anytime we're doing anything that has to do with making money to support charitable activities, everything goes on the other one, and it goes right to the foundation account. Now, again, if I were doing a club, I don't have a problem with doing them together. I would have everything point to the foundation account, use the tax deductible one, and use the IRS one to get that rate. And everything's going into the foundation. The foundation can give money to the club.
Okay.
I mean, but you got to go through your district scenarios to make sure you feel comfortable with that. I actually do, because I see the alignment of the mission, right?
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
So there's 2 links I'm putting into the system right now. One is this page right here. This is events and fundraising resources for Rotary. And I've been focusing, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. I've been focusing on the donation pages aspect right here. So you can look at what other clubs have done. But there are so many other things. When we talked about setting up a campaign, sweepstakes, athons, blah, 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 over here, they have different what other Rotary clubs are doing. And you can look and copy and paste. There's no reason to create from scratch. And to me, I think the best thing to do is, I think crowdfunding looks good. Look at what somebody else is doing. Make an effort to create it on your own. Set an appointment with Cynthia and say, okay, I got this, this, and this, but I got completely lost on this and this. And she'll walk you through it. To me, I like to get baseline first before I have my hand be held. And she's held my hand a lot, don't get me wrong. But it's interesting to see, and you can see the raffle examples. New York, we can't use raffles, but we can use sweepstakes, and you can do a lot of raffle-esque type stuff using sweepstakes, because built into the Event Groove platform is the ability for people to get sweepstake tickets for free. So it's no longer a raffle. But that, I digress. That's not the whole purpose of today. Today was really about getting donations to your club and using the free tool to over here on donations pages, and just start finding a way to collect a general donation or happy dollars and fines or dues if you're not, if you want to set that up. And we have been considering creating a regular events group platform, but everything we do fundraising wise goes to the club anyway. And we don't do membership dues through here. So In this case, I'm actually going to archive it because I'll never use it for the clubs here because of that very reason. But I left it there so that we could have it for our training purposes.
Tom, I have a quick question.
Please bring it in.
For those clubs that no longer have or are between having a website or searching for what a proper website to develop, to create.
Yep.
Is there a way to use this for on Facebook alone or other creative ways without a website? Or do you recommend we get a website for those clubs? That quite a few do not actually.
Yes
That
and
they
no.
develop one pretty quickly.
Overall, I think they need to develop one pretty quickly by fall, because you could still get this page right here. And all this does, and you can use this as your homepage if you really want to. I mean, this is super basic. All right, you could see it's going to highlight the fundraisers when we have them. And I have a question for you guys later down the road on that. But then you got about the Elmira Rotary Club a little bit more over here and this. So you can keep it simple if this is what you want. What I've also recommended to some clubs is that you go to let me get there. You, at the very least, buy your domain and point it to your Facebook page. So if you've got a Rotary Facebook page like this, and I'm going to look at it from an end user perspective here. Let's see, we're going to look at it as Tom Brown. And you can have elmirarotary.org land on this page if you wanted to. And if you don't have a page and you're actively using this a little bit, then you absolutely should at the minimum do this. And if people go to the About Elmira Rotary, you can, there's a little bit more here. And then I've got the link right here that goes to our donation page straight over here. So the answer to your question is you absolutely should, at a super minimum, have your own domain name. $12 a year, do it. If you're not willing to develop a website yet, point it to your Facebook page because you should absolutely have that. If you want to, you can actually have it land here and use this as a simple page. And remember, this is found on, whoops, wrong page, over here under branding. So when you're setting up your branding, that would be, quote, your home page. It's not going to be very deep. Okay, but you do have some control over here where you can control your buttons, what they look like, the email that's at the top. And then over here, I'm not going to go into deeper, but you've got the ability to put in that information.
So I'm sorry, I'm a little. Now, where is this? Is this on Event Groove?
This is Event Groove. Once you go to, here, let me go to this page link right here.
Tom, I have a comment when you have a moment.
Yep. If you go to, if you don't have Event Groove yet, you go to Rotary 720 and click start. For those that don't have it and those that are watching this, go to this here, create your account. Super simple. If you have an Event Groove account, it's right here under your organization. Make sure that your top 3 are filled out: branding, profile, payment processing. And then it will tell you what your page is going to be. And in this case, your page is just the raw root right there.
Tom,
okay.
do me a favor. Go to your donation page again. To a specific donation page, not the, yeah, right. And go into the to the gearbox in the bottom right hand corner, and scroll down. In the center, in the left column. There you go. See the Facebook link there? You can link this page that you create to any Facebook page you want. And if you grab the link, now click on the link, Tom. Yeah. That link you can put in any social platform, as well as email and text, which means that you can not have, if you don't have so Tom's right. If you don't have a website, you ought to get one. I mean, it's a really important thing from Rotary standpoint. But if you don't have one, you want to get going, you can do it, and you can get it out into any social platform, just by even a giving page like this, by just grabbing it and dropping it in there and creating it in Facebook, Instagram, anything. So just wanted to kind of follow up what Tom said. So
Thank you.
Not a problem. Let's see.
Tom, I think Lori has her hand up.
Yes, please, Lori.
Oh, how are you guys today? I apologize, I got logged in just a few minutes late, so I am a little confused about how this relates to Club Runner, or if it doesn't.
It does not. It is a completely separate platform. Club Runner is more for secretary, and you can do a website for it, and it's Club Administrative Management, and
Okay,
it can be tied in directly with Rotary.org,
right,
Rotary International.
right,
You can do some event stuff there. They are not really a fundraising platform at
Right.
all.
right.
And so this is more of a fundraising platform,
Okay,
and they
so,
don't talk to each other yet.
right, so when I first got on, you were talking about you could make it members only, and I was confused about how to do the members only, because that I know is part of Club Runner, right? And so
Right.
you can say
It's a
member, right,
Different member. If I'm over here, I'm currently logged in as Tom Brown.
okay,
So I have an Event Groove. I've logged in, I've donated money to Event Groove at least one time in my life with
right,
this particular email address tied to it.
okay,
And so it knows
okay.
so that's what I meant by the membership.
Okay, so again, I was a little bit late on the
That's,
up.
I get that.
one.
It's still a
So-
good clarifying point.
So I was like, because as you know, we've worked, I've done my events and other events and fundraising through Club Runner, which is a little clunky. I was able to get through it. But this looks to be like a better way. And this is actually what it's for, right? I mean, this is the whole purpose of this, right?
The whole purpose of this is fundraising, yes.
Exactly. So, so we obviously have our website through Club Runner. Do we need a different website, or can we just land it over there?
Our website is Club Runner, my district, my
Okay,
Facebook page. This is
Okay.
Club Runner. So
Right.
my Rotary Club is Club Runner.
right.
And my link to them is right here, one page. I created a donate to the Elmira Rotary Club page, and it's
Gotcha.
all right here. And so
Gotcha.
I created a landing page within the About Our Club. And
Okay.
so if you're not familiar with Club Runner architecture, that's a down the road issue. But
Yeah,
I mean, this is,
Yeah,
over here,
I can do a
benefits
little
of
bit of
joining
it.
Rotary. Which, by the
Okay.
way, I mean, this is really pretty cool. So if you guys want to steal from me, help yourself.
I absolutely will. Steal shamelessly.
one other thing, I know that you're pushing these campaigns in a certain way, but you got to be very cognizant of the type of work you're doing. I know a number of clubs that, because it's free, and listen, we totally get it. You want to use it so that you can minimize your costs, but you also want to maximize your return, right? So I know that you're starting to get to know the other campaigns that are out there, and those do have a platform fee. Sometimes it's worthwhile to you got to spend money to make money. So it costs a little bit more to use a campaign that's got a little bit more structure and functionality to it. Because all a campaign page does, that you've been looking at, these donation pages, is it takes your name, it gives you recurring revenue, it allows you to pick an amount, and that's it. It's an honorarium or memoriam, and that's it. There's not any other kind of functionality. The only other thing you can do that is good is text to give, but that's it. And if you're trying to do something a little bit more complex, or want to really, really promote it with visuals, because I'm always coming from a storytelling point of view, the storytelling in a donation page is very limited, whereas in a campaign page, pictures and videos tell 1,000 words, and you can really drive call to action with that. So that's what you've got to that's the tightrope you walk, right? I'm the kind of guy that says, you know what, I'm willing to spend a little bit more money if it's going to bring me in another $5,000. Because every time you make money, all Event Group is taking is a little sliver, because that's how they monetize their business. And so again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go this route, and Tom is doing exactly the right thing in terms of sharing that with you, but I want you to think about the bigger picture also. and that is driving revenue. So that's all I got to say.
So let's see, we did a, oh, it was an event here. Same thing. Oh, it was listed at one time. We did the Rotary, the comedy night.
Oh,
And yeah,
it's there. Go. Is it not there anymore? Go
No,
go under events.
it is.
I think it's there.
Oh, there it is.
Comedy.
The Rotary Virtual Comedy Night fundraiser.
Yep.
And so this is what our club did. This was my very first effort at using this tool. And, you know, we made a little bit of money. We had some fun. We learned, some of the comics are better than others. And there's, you know, that kind of stuff. And our budget to raise, I think we raised just under 5,000, was $500 for something that people watched a comedian online, and it went to a good cause. So to me, what I'm thinking with a lot of what we're trying to do here is that Rotary clubs are already doing lots of events. Last year was horrible to us, and a lot of events died on the vine, or they just didn't do them because they didn't know how to create an online component. And so a lot of the clubs are starting to come back now to regular events. My thought is what we need to do is take our event and don't ignore the online, add an online component to bring more value to it for those that can't make it, for Rotarians that are distancing, and have fun with that. You can't really go wrong. Plus, a lot of our old events, a lot of people did not have the ability to take money digitally. It was, you show up, you buy your tickets to the spaghetti dinner, and it was always a changing of hands on site. And so doing this, and most importantly, creating a donate option is great, because with one of my other nonprofit clients that did spaghetti dinners, we made it the ability to buy plates online, and we had people buying, I'm going to buy 5 plates, just give them to somebody. They just were looking for a way to give them money. And that's what we're trying to do with this, is just find a way for people that have digital money or are trusting the digital process to get money to your club. And I wanted to focus on the donate feature within Club Runner right here, donation pages. And I think every club out there should create a donation page, at the very minimum, general donation, to get money to the club. You can start itemizing it if you want, but to me, this is where every club needs to go to begin with. All right, there's quiet time here. I'm going to turn off the screen share here. All right, bring it
Tom,
on, people. Yes, Lori.
my understanding from all of this is, at least what I gathered today, is that the only way for people to make donations would be through a credit card. I heard PayPal mentioned, but not being used. I know our club has both PayPal and Venmo that people use to, you know, pay for various things. So currently it would be a credit card, or there seemed to be a backdoor way of, you know, writing a check and sending it through the mail, but.
Yes, there is check. People will still do checks.
Right.
Credit card, by the way, PayPal is really credit card to a degree. So
Okay.
it's just another way to accept a credit card. Robert.
Listen, people aren't giving because they want to give to Venmo or PayPal. People are giving to a cause.
Right.
And so listen, it doesn't matter what the credit card processing is. It just needs to be simple and seamless. And this one is more simple and more seamless than any other one I've been involved in. That's number one. Number two, it just went out of my head. I don't know what I know what it was. It's not just a check and credit card. It's also, if you have your phone and you happen to have Apple Pay on your phone, it'll automatically go to Apple Pay.
Or
if you're on a Google phone or an Android, it'll go to Google Pay. So those credit card processing services, which will allow us to do with them, will detect your ability to do it on whatever device you're on, and it will pop up that option. Does that make sense, Lori?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
And I've paid.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I just wanted to kind of give you that perspective.
I've using this process. Oh, my phone just thinks I'm talking to it because I said the word Google. I've paid with Google and I've paid with credit card. And my override is I didn't want the checks to be over there. They're over here. If they click on here, to me, they're willing to pay online. And so I don't want to remind them that they can pay by check after they've clicked. And that's why I put it here instead of filling it out as an option over here where they could pay by check and then it tells them where to mail it to.
You're saying here and there,
Personal
but you're
choice.
no longer sharing your screen.
Oh, thank you.
We know what you meant.
Continue. Next question. All right. Well, I hope that that answers all your questions, what we're trying to do this particular topic. Oh, I do remember I had one other thing, so I'm going back to screen share. Thank you for reminding me that because I would have done it without it. It is, oops, not that screen though. Yeah. Come back. Where are we at? Is it this one? All right. When you do the online pages and people start showing up with our branding page, so we're just gonna land over here. I think we actually have to have a standard fundraiser. I mean, I don't think we should ever have a blank, period. So to me, I think the next stage is that all Rotary clubs should have some sort of ongoing fundraiser, even if it's a quarterly or a semi-annual fundraiser campaign going. So maybe this quarter we're going to be honoring the New York Horse Riders of America, and the next one is the Puppy Foundation or whatever. But that way there's always something here. Even if it's just a background donation and we only get $20 or $30, it really doesn't matter. But I've been racking my brains trying to come up to what I think would be a really good fundraiser to have. That would be basically a 90-day or 120-day fundraiser and not an auction. And so I'm putting it out to you, the group. What do you think would be a good ongoing low-key fundraiser that we could go? You know, we always support this foundation or the Divin School, and so we're always trying to help this school or this pet shelter or whatever. And what tool do you think would be best on that? All right, taking it to you guys. Don't everybody chime in at once. You're gonna have to unmute yourself. Nope, I'm still hearing quietness. This is like radio death here. Come on, Popple.
For the Corning Club, it's probably something with our literacy efforts. Because we support a couple classrooms every year and it's ongoing.
So we could target something for one of the 7 areas and then do one of the 7 areas on a quarterly basis. I like that.
In Penfield, we had a chicken barbecue lately, and we were able to sponsor 5 families for a total of 26 meals through the Penfield food cupboard. So 5 families got sponsored. So we kind of partnership with them frequently.
Okay. Hey, Robert, what kind of campaign do you think would be good to have an ongoing 90-day, 6-month campaign?
Well, I can think of one right now that's really powerful, and that is World Polio Days in October. And you might as well start fundraising July 1 and get your polio funds going. And the community, it's a great way to spread community awareness around, something that we are this close to getting done. That's number one. The second one is, I don't know whether your incoming district governor has a cause that they're adopting. That's always good. I know different districts have, and different district governors have their own personal causes that come into play.
She left us.
The other one, I think that's for an internal conversation to brainstorm around what's important in your area. Each club should have a charitable cause that they care about. Habitat for Humanity is a big one in my community, and we support that in a big way. But there's always something going on that needs help. And so when we do our club planning, we plan around what it is that is important, and we identify those few things, and then we plan our strategy throughout the year on that, and that's how we focus our work. If you haven't done it, I would do a community needs assessment. Sit down with your first selectman or your mayor or your however the structure of your town leadership is, and not only go to them but go to the business community. In fact, hold a district town hall. I mean, a club town hall for the community, a community town hall with the Chamber of Commerce, and you be the leaders of it, but because you're the resources that's going to come together, and then you might even lead together some of the other civic organizations like the Lions and the Exchange clubs, and have them be behind you, but you're the leaders, and find out what those things are, and then everyone galvanizes. I think that's, man, the power of what I just said is huge, because you're getting everybody behind, and you all are leading. See, I don't think a lot of communities really have clubs coming together. I mean, I'm not going to say that on a blanket basis. I'm sure there are, but I think it would be wonderful to have that kind of a framework. So that's where I would come from. But certainly, each club should have 1, 2, or 3 things that they know they want to support, like shelter box or polio from a national standpoint or international standpoint, and then regional or local, and then put the stake in the ground and tell that story big time.
One of the things I was thinking of doing from a district perspective of leadership was a district level crowdfunding for the World Polio, and then giving each club a link for them to use and compete against all the other clubs as a percentage of club members. So for example, Corning or Rochester would have an inordinate advantage over some of the smaller clubs due to they have over 100 members or around there. And so they could easily raise a higher dollar amount. But if you break that out per member, it would be interesting to see if the clubs could compete. What do you guys think? I see lots of head
I would
nodding.
say that Cynthia should show you what's happening in District 5360. I think that would be really cool. Do you have a few more minutes that everyone can stick around and see the incredible campaign that Alberta, Canada is putting together for their World Polio Day campaign that's going to raise $100,000 in 90 days?
Oh, you got me hooked. All right, bring it on.
Okay.
And if you
And
want
by
to
the
watch it
way,
later, it's recorded.
while she's
so.
pulling it up, you should all attend next Friday's roundtable. That's our international roundtable.
Put the link.
I'm going to get the link now while you're waiting.
All right, Cynthia, you're on.
All right, I'm just gonna pull up. Do you have screen
Oh,
sharing enabled?
Yep. Sorry.
Okay.
Here comes the screen share. Try it again.
Just pulling up the beta. Well, actually, I could probably just go to their actual.
Yeah, go to the actual one, because that's...
Okay.
Why not?
All right, so I'm just getting a page pulled up here. And I'm actually going into the district. So the district has decided to launch this campaign July 1st. And they actually are doing activities. So they are asking each club to have a club champion that will drive their local efforts. And each club is then a team. So if I click on their Move for Polio campaign, we have all of their clubs preloaded in this fundraiser. The participants will actually be the club members or community people. Will be able to actually register to be part of this fundraiser. And they'll be able to log their kilometers is what they are focusing on, units of measure for whatever activity they're doing. And people can either register to move, or they can pledge towards any of the participants that are registered. They can do flat donations per unit of measurement, which would then be charged out as a donation at the end of the movement campaign. As the event gets going and people start fundraising, we'll start seeing rankings show up as far as participants, and also the clubs will then be ranked depending on how well they are fundraising towards the overall effort. The other neat thing is that for each club, if I go visit that club page, these can be customized for each club. The image can be changed, the title can be changed and customized. Each of their team members will show up within the club itself. And then any of the fundraising that goes on for that club specifically will update cumulative total right on their club page. And then that flows up to the overall district. So it's a very exciting fundraiser that we have planned, and we're excited to see that launched on July 1st. So
Question.
Yeah.
You said all the clubs and their members were pre-uploaded from some sort of spreadsheet, so all the participants are already preloaded in there?
The participants are not. The clubs are preloaded. The club champions are preloaded, but the club champions are loaded as the
admin
team leader.
Okay.
And so once the actual fundraiser opens up, then each member can register.
Oh, so the members would have to self-register.
Exactly. Or
Okay.
they can be invited by the club champion. The club champion can send out links directly for those members to sign up to their club.
And the district led this.
Correct.
All right. So who
and,
wants to be on my district committee to start this? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, people are bailing now. Woo, woo, woo.
I got to tell
Yeah,
you, this is a fantastic
very
campaign.
exciting.
It opens the door for every club to get engaged. Every club will be able to touch the platform. You'll build up adoption. You'll have clubs wanting to do stuff after they've touched this. You're going to get everyone engaged with the campaign because every club is responsible for raising money for polio. So it just drives in. It drives in because you can then tie and send everyone that gives through this platform to TRF so that they all get credit and they get their points.
To the Rotary Foundation.
Yeah.
Okay. That was actually a serious question. I would like 2 or 3 people to help join me as backdoor administrators on this. So you get to learn it from a district perspective and of course help your own school.
And you can plan your launch, Tom, for, it doesn't have to launch July 1. It could launch August 1. August 1. Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, first of all, I'd have to get our incoming president's approval. And she bailed on us earlier. So if anyone's interested, just email me or Facebook message me. We'll probably end up doing this. I think it would be fun. And then we'll go from there. And I think going to the polio club and the Rotary Foundation, helping the clubs do the Rotary Foundation polio thing would be pretty neat.
The other thing you can do from a district standpoint, same way if you want, is promote, we have the Paul Hare Society. There's now the Polio Plus Society that's being launched, $1,000 for giving to polio as an individual. It's a new thing that's happening this year. I don't know if you've heard about this, Tom. It's starting to be communicated out. You should talk to your foundation chair about it. There's lots of different things you can do to use it for Rotary related items like this. So
okay.
And the great news is that Cynthia's an expert around this now. So both of us are. So we can both help you. We're here to help you.
Excellent. Well, we're a couple minutes past, and I think it was worthy information. Any questions? None. All right. Well, then I'm going to hit stop right here.